Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show. Join us each week as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great game.
It's 2017 and we're at the Michigan Golf Show in Novi, Michigan. It's the biggest one in the world. And with us is Susan Bairley, and she is going to be talking about the Michigan Women's Golf Summit number 5. How exciting.
It is exciting, Jenny. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's the 5th summit. As you know, we started these. Art McCafferty and myself did the very first Women's Golf Summit, back in, and I don't remember exactly the year, 93 I think it might have been. So we did 3 of them, 2 years apart. They were amazing summits, and we combined the last one with the industry summit, which is something Art had gotten started before my involvement. And then there was a little hiatus. There wasn't a lot of, I don't want to say interest, there's always been interest.
I think maybe the break was because so many issues had been covered, and really some changes were starting to happen.
That's true. And as a matter of fact, I mean, big issues were were covered during the very first summit. One of the biggest ones was private club access for women. So think about that one. And you go way back in Michigan, it's almost hard to believe it was an issue today. Although I know throughout the U.S. it's still an issue at a number of clubs.
Playing times were an issue.
Playing times, yep, and a lot of these things have been made. We've made huge progress as women. I think we still have a way to go in the golf world, and so perhaps that's why the golf summits got started again. So the 4th summit was held last year. The 5th summit's going to be this year, right here at the Suburban Collection Showplace at the hotel, the Diamond Center. And it's going to be April 22nd, and I believe it's from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The cost is $60 per person. And the theme this year is Golf, a Game for All Generations.
Oh, that's a cool one. Now, there are a lot of issues there, too.
And I think what's really super is I recently talked with Francine Peggy, who runs the Belle Isle Golf Facility, and she was saying when people come down to her youth program, the kids program, they are usually brought by their grandparents. And so the grandparents come with the kids, and after they're watching the kids on the driving range, they say, I'd really like to play too. And so one of the things that Francine is doing is she is actually bringing clubs, having clubs available for the grandmas and grandpas who are down there, and is going to make that available to them as well. So I think it's part of the theme that's being carried into this year's summit. Now, I understand we've gotten a lot of good support this year for the summit. I am not on the planning committee for the first one ever, so I'm a little bit disappointed on that, but just been busy. I've been way too busy to get involved. But the women who are heading it up are fantastic, and I know there is going to be an absolutely fantastic program.
Well, the generational aspect of this particular summit is so cool because in order to grow the game, we have to bring in more people. That usually means younger people, and you're also mentioning older people, but it's also true that the cool thing about golf is you can start to play when you're really young, and you can keep playing until you can't ride a cart anymore.
That's right. And as a matter of fact, one of my friends, and somebody you know as well, Shirleys Story, has been talking about getting those senior putting league together, and she's well into her 80s, so I've yet to see that happen. But I know that the golf world is embracing more and more the 9-hole players because as we age, we're not always apt to go out for 18 holes anymore. And so that's a big part. I also understand there's a new app out that will allow you to reserve how much playing time you want on a golf course. So if you only have an hour available, you can now at some clubs say, I want to play for an hour, and when you get to the club, they can place you on whatever hole you will be able to play, start from to play an hour's worth of golf, and then you're out of there.
Ah, very cool. So it's a Michigan Women's Golf Summit.
Yes.
Do men have any role?
Oh, wow, that I would say actually men have a huge role. If they, we need the support of men to make sure that things happen for women. And I think that in actually one issue that's happening in the United States is as the USGA is starting to assign or to limit the number of handicap licenses that it's issuing and consolidate that. So for a lot of women's golf associations which had previously relied on that handicap income, they are now being asked to merge, or they're losing their status. So this is actually a very serious issue, one that I hope to write about a little bit more. But I think to your point, it's requiring the men and women golfers to really work hand in hand to make sure that the women's programs don't get lost, the junior girls programs don't get lost, and that the things that women already have achieved continue.
I think one thing that's really cool is I think it's the first time, Michigan GAM, Golf Association of Michigan, will have a woman as its president, that being Sarah Wolf.
I'm so excited. Absolutely. I'm so excited. Oh gosh, and if that could be that first president couldn't be a better person. Sarah is absolutely phenomenal. She is involved with the 5th Michigan Women's Golf Summit, and I do want to mention that the keynote speaker is Debbie O'Connell. She is an LPGA professional. She's an author. She's an entrepreneur. And this summit is also going to have the Michigan premiere of the Founders film. And that was something that was developed, I think, over the last couple years. We have not had a showing of it here in Michigan. It is. So with Shirleys Story as our champion here in Michigan, that film has particular cachet, let's say. So this will give women an opportunity to see the film, and it's a fabulous film. I did see the trailer for it. You probably have too at some point, but it is, Babe Zaharias, the folks who were, the founders, the 13 founders of the LPGA. It's about them and the journey they led, and it's done Hollywood style, so it's going to be a fantastic film. It is a fantastic film, and people will love to see it.
Shirley was so glamorous at the time she was founding the LPGA, and she still is, even though she's almost 90. So
she's an amazing lady. When she was here last year, we did a one-day kind of tour. We went to Belle Isle and saw Francine's facility, and she saw some of the young girls. She went to Eastern Michigan University, her alma mater, and she talked with the coach and some of the athletic teams there. And she just had a whirlwind day, and so she is going strong. That's the kind of women that founded the LPGA. So seeing that film on April 22nd will be a treat for everybody.
I want to bring up one story you told me a long time ago about Shirleys Story meeting the president of General Motors.
Yeah, it's a good story. Yes, Shirley and I went to the Meadowbrook Country Club 100th anniversary celebration, and Mary Barra, the CEO of GM, was there, and Shirley met her. But Shirley, the association between Mary's position at GM and her being there just didn't click, and so when Shirley met her, she was introduced to Mary and was told that Mary was a beginning golfer. And so after their conversation, I pulled Shirley aside and I said, Shirley, do you know you were talking with Mary Barra? And she goes, oh, she was a woman named Mary, and she's just starting to golf, and, she likes the game. And when I told her she was the CEO of General Motors, she was absolutely astounded, and she went back and talked to her.
I love that story because it also, her going back to me is the high point of it. It's like she said, now I know who you are.
Absolutely.
Well, Susan, I'm looking forward to the Michigan Women's Golf Summit number 5, and thank you for enlightening us, and we'll see you at the summit. Thank you.
April 22nd. Yes, thank you, Jenny.